Hello and welcome back. It's time to jump on a new category of cruisers. This is a heavy assault cruiser, the Rupture Guardian. Guardians offer very good defensive capabilities and should offer excellent use for fleets, and of course they can be used in storyline missions as well. Now, the Rupture Guardian does have interesting bonuses, and well, in most cases the bonuses is the first thing that I do look at when I buy a new ship. Well, let's go to the trait description. Now, the raw bonus will give the ship plus 25% medium cannon tracking speed and plus 1 maximum shield field module, which is excellent. The advanced cruiser defense upgrade bonus per level will give it plus 5% shield, which is excellent. And the advanced cruiser command bonus per level will give it plus 9.5% medium cannon accuracy and minus 4% medium cannon activation time, which is overall decent, and I definitely can take good use of these modules. The ship has 1 drone, 3 high slots, 2 medium slots, 5 low slots, 3 weapon rigs and 3 engineering rigs, which is so far pretty good. The rest of the stats also appear to be mostly good. The warp speed is only 3 AU per second, but I guess that's normal for cruisers. Well, let me show you the fit that I currently have. Now, at the moment I do have the strike cannons, or in other words, I like to call the strike cannons artillery. They have decent range and they have decent damage. But keep in mind, the Guardians should not have and overall don't have good DPS, because that's not their primary focus. In the low slots I do have 1 shield field module and a group shield booster. In the low slots I do have a medium afterburner, which should offer decent speed boost, a medium shield extender that will further improve the defensive capabilities, a reactive shield hardener, and 2 invulnerability fields to further improve the resistance on this ship. Now, overall, the defensive capabilities of this ship will be very nice, and well, I will show you the ship in a simulated environment in a moment. Okay, all modules are active. Time to look at the defense. 88,000 effective HP, which is nice. The resistances are well over 80%, some of them are above 90%, which is good. And of course the numbers will further increase once I go into active combat, because the reactive shield hardeners adapt to the incoming damage type, which is a nice feature. And of course, if you don't want to use artillery, you can also use autocannons. They offer higher DPS, shorter range, higher rate of fire, and they should be very good for the missions, for storylines, and if you want you can also use them for PvP. In my case, I did get the ship mainly for PvP, but let's see how the ship will first perform. Okay, let's see what will happen. Now, I do like to use the shield field boosters because they do replace, sometimes they can replace the low slot shield boosters. That means I do have 1 more low slot to spare for either resistance or for DPS. So far the shield was stable. I did fly the ship in a couple other storylines and the ship did perform quite well. I was very surprised at how tanky the ship is. It is very similar to the Phantasm in the tank. Both ships do have well over 80% resistance, and both ships do have almost the same shield volume. The ship has 9.4k shield, while my Phantasm has 10.1k shield. A little difference, but overall should not be that noticeable. The Phantasm, however, does have higher DPS and is faster, but that is a faction cruiser and it is, I think, 10 times more expensive than this ship. Actually, when I bought this ship, I was kind of surprised at how cheap they are now. When they first came out, they were like 250 to 300 million ISK. Now they are at 120 million ISK, which is a decent price. So far, I have to admit, this ship is actually quite fun to use. Now the DPS is lacking because this is a Guardian, and Guardian ships are not known to have very high DPS. You can improve the DPS if you want, and I think when I join fleets with this ship, I'll definitely make sure to improve the DPS a little bit. Or if the fleet already has enough DPS, then I will go and I will support the fleet by giving resistance and of course by giving shield. Now the shield field modules are generally very good. They further improve your own resistance and they improve the resistance of all the ships within the reach of the module. Guardians should have that module. And of course there are some faction cruisers that also can fit a shield field module, and frigates, for example the Succubus can fit one, and the Phantasm can fit one. But that module is mainly for logistic ships and for Guardians. Well, oh my god, this is loud. I don't know why the game became so loud all of a sudden, but I'll definitely make sure to adjust the audio. Okay, well, this ship is in the end getting the job done in missions. Overall, again, it is a ship that's focusing mainly on defense and in fleet support. In storylines, especially in tier 10 storylines, these ships can be bait for the rats to target this ship and to draw fire away from the main DPS ships. But again, there are ships that can solo tier 10 storylines. The Prophecy, for example, Phantasm and the battleships can do that just fine. Okay, let's focus on this Blackbird now. Overall, these Guardians are mainly PvP focused ships, and it will be very interesting to see how the ship will perform. Now, for PvP, I will definitely use artillery because of the longer range. Okay, now I have to admit, these ships don't do a lot of damage to me, and it was a similar case in the tier 6 storylines. I did the same thing there, and there was barely any damage done to my ship. The shield didn't go under 80%. It was mostly stable at around 88 to 85. In this case, it is even better. It is at 94%, even though I am not even orbiting around these ships. Okay, this Caracal Navy gave up because it's not even moving, so it's just awaiting its own destruction. While that Moa over there is actively shooting at me. Well, let's shoot down the last ship of this wave. Now you might be wondering where I did get those Type C modules. Well, I did buy them. They were actually, the price fell down for the Type C modules. I did buy the first one for, I think it was around 160 million ISK when they came out. Now you can find them on sale for 35 to 40 million ISK. There is a high chance that the price will go up again, because I do remember reading that the drop rates of these Type C modules will be decreased, and that theoretically should increase the price because the modules will be more rarer, and well, in that case, if you did buy them cheap, you can sell them for a higher price, and overall you can also get profit from that. Okay, well, one interesting thing that I did notice about this ship is the way the turrets came out of the way the turrets come out of the hull. just keep an eye on those hatches. I think that's a very nice attention to detail. And that definitely looks very nice. Okay, let's focus on that logistics cruiser. Okay, well, so far I can tell you, the DPS is definitely... You can feel the lack of DPS, and again, that is to be expected from these ships. The tank so far is holding quite well. They can barely scratch the shield, and overall, a nice run so far, actually. Okay, let's focus on that destroyer. I think I should slowly start to get the assault destroyers. I still didn't fly those, kind of didn't have time for them, but I've heard that they are generally very good. Same can be said about the assault frigates, they are also very nice. Okay, these are... I think this is a tier 8 or tier 7 mission, not quite sure if it's a storyline, but they still have a problem to damage my shield. The shield is holding out quite well. Okay, that cruiser is going down, there we go. Okay, let's focus on the Celestis. And by the way, the Type C turrets are also very cheap at the moment, so if you want, you can go and buy them. I did buy these for, I think, less than 5 million per piece, so that's actually very cheap. I do remember when they first came out, they were like, I think, 25 to 35 million, and the price did drop dramatically. The price can also go up dramatically after the next update that will reduce the drop rate for the Type C modules. Okay, that's one more cruiser down. Let's focus on the next cruiser. Okay, let's go after that Celestis cover tops. Now in PvP, these Guardians are very difficult to shoot down. They usually come with very high resistance, like the resistance that I currently have, and they also come with a lot of shield or armor volume, which increases their survivability even more. So these ships are excellent at surviving the worst possible scenarios. Of course, eventually they will go down, but they go down very hard, because to destroy one of these ships you need a lot of DPS. I remember when, I think one of the first PvP videos that I did after the game was released, in a fleet of course, we did catch a Maw Guardian, and we did shoot that Maw Guardian for more than, I think, 15 minutes or something. It was a very long fight, and after that ship went down, I looked at the kill mail just to check what the ship had equipped, and well, to my surprise, that ship did have, I think it was Type C modules, but the rigs were also very good, and that ship had around 95 to 98% resistance on all damage types. And well, we were at least 5 or 6 in a fleet, so it did take quite some time to destroy that Maw Guardian. And I used a similar fit here. That Maw Guardian did have 2 of these invulnerability fields and a reactive shield. It also did have a large shield extender. In my case, I have a medium shield extender, I could fit a large shield extender, but I did go for the medium one because the medium artillery can use a lot of power grid. So if I want to quickly change the weapons, then I did have to go with the medium shield extender, and that so far is doing a very good job. Okay, this caracal is also going to be destroyed very soon. Now I've heard that the Mauer Guardian is the worst of the Guardian ships. I didn't fly that ship. I potentially will fly that ship. Okay, on to the next wave. Let's quickly shoot down all of these ships. And yes, you might be wondering why am I orbiting so close to these ships. I'm just looking at and checking how much this ship can survive in this case. Now you can also replace the other modules that I have in the low slots with a shield booster, which will further improve the ship's survivability and overall ship's tank. But I do have the medium shield field booster, which by the way can be replaced with the large shield field booster. Well, that was a beautiful explosion. Let's go on to the next. Let's go on to the next target. Okay, let's quickly kill that Caracal Navy. Well, as you can see, I am literally playing around with these rats because they can't damage my shield. I did again the same thing in the storylines, and it was a very similar result. They couldn't do any damage to my shield. I can even go AFK and let all 20 plus ships attack me at once, and well, when I return I can still see my shield at 80%, so it is indeed a very interesting ship and a very tanky ship on top of that. And I think this might be the last enemy ship that's left on the field. The DPS can be further improved. I still have to finish a couple skills before I can go full on the cannons. Currently I am focusing on lasers. After that I might go with the cannons because I do plan to buy a Cinnaball, and also I might go for a Gila, one of these, or well, in the end I'll just fly both ships because both of these ships were doing a very good job. Gilas are one of my favorite ships to shoot at, but at the moment we were not that lucky to catch some of these ships, but we will very soon, I think. And well, let's quickly shoot down the rest of these ships. Well, as we can see so far, this Guardian here is doing a very good job at staying alive. It does the Guardian job very well, and it is a very interesting ship to have. Well, that was a very good run, I have to admit. I do like this ship a lot. It does the Guardian job very well, and well, I'm very curious to see how this ship will perform in a fleet. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.